All right, welcome everybody. I want to welcome you to another edition of Massive Action Monday while I am in beautiful Tulum. That's right. Um, we are down in beautiful Tulum to be able to kind of do a workcation. I'll be here, been here for a few days now, and then I've got some other travel plans. But listen, I wanted to make sure that I did not leave you this week without a Massive Action Monday. So I thought, you know what? Why not do it? While we're together here, why not actually share and talk about some of the things that I like to be able to share with you on today. So we're going to get right into it. This is Massive Action Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, while we are on live, feel free to leave a comment, share your thoughts as I get into how to have it all, like right now. And this has been one of the things that I think for me took a little while to get used to. So we're here every single Monday on Massive Action Monday. You can tune in right here. Every Monday, I'm going to be dropping some motivation, some strategy, some tips, all in order to be able to help you continue to increase your impact and income inside of the marketplace and in life. So you can also subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. If you watch online, like right now, guess what? Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find us on Audible, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Tune in. You name it, we are there. Wherever you get your ear hustle on, make sure that you tap in to the show. So with that being said, here's what I like to do today. I want to kind of walk through just some things that I have been like personally working through. Like me personally, I am doing a lot of the internal heavy lifting, and I kind of got this down to like a bit of a science. Lots of art and some science. And I want to kind of share this with you because we're getting down to the last parts of 2022. And the one thing that I have changed my mindset to is to not like in the year, but I want to finish this year out in momentum going into next year. I think honestly, momentum is just too hard to ramp back up. So why not do the things necessary in order to make sure that like it stays up, right? Why not do what's right in order to be able to build a business or your life so that you've got the constant motion? That doesn't mean you won't have flat spots or you won't have dips, but it just means you have the muscle in order to be able to know what it takes in order to be able to make that a reality. So, with that being said, here's what I want to do. I want us to first of all, before I give you these three tools, I need you and I have to fix our minds on the fact that and I want you to kind of think about you, right? I'm saying this as but I'm literally saying it to you. I have the ability and the opportunities to be able to create abundance in my own life. Now, there's a lot of conversation, I swear. There's so many things out here about abundance and affirmations and all these other things. But I'm gonna my three tools that I'm going to give you are what I would like to call actionable intelligence. Because while there's a lot of great talk, a lot of great positivity around abundance thinking, while there's a lot of great information out there around the things that can be yours, while there's a lot of great inspiration on what's possible when you do, right? I want to give you some actionable intelligence because I don't want us to get caught up in the feeling of, oh, it feels great to think about taking massive action. I'd actually like you to do something, right? I read a quote today that said, an ounce of activity is worth a pound of theorizing. I'm gonna state that again. An ounce of activity is worth a pound in theorizing. See, the easiest trap for us to get caught in a lot of times is to um, think about something, but never like really create the thing. Like we never fully embody what's possible in our lives. So as a result, we're like that close, but we also feel so far away. So I don't want us to do that anymore. And I want you to know that every Monday on Massive Action Monday, I'm going to give you something that's going to help you actualize that. right? Whatever you write down, whatever you think about, whatever your urges, whatever puts you in a state of knowing like, man, whatever I want, whatever I need is going to allow me to get here. I want us to have a clear, level-headed expectation of what it's going to take. So here, let's get started, and I want you to write this down. I like to call this KSA. So I want you to first think about take time out and really think about what is it you really want. It sounds simple, but many of us do not have one clear picture of what we actually want. What do I mean? We know the things we want. Why? Because we spend a lot of our time watching other people with things. So we know the things that we want: the big house, the car, the 3.5 kids, the money. We want we know the things. But do you really know what you want? That's different. Because here's what I know. Go test this for yourself in your own life. If I truly understood what I wanted, the things come as a result of my intention and 100% focus on what I'm really after. Right? I'll give you a perfect example. In sports, athletes at a certain point realize what they really, really want. What do I mean? Let's take the great GOAT of all time in all sports. There's no debate. Serena Williams. Broken more records, done all of these things. She did not get into tennis to break records. She did not get into tennis for the 20 some odd championships. She did not get into tennis or those things. You know what she got into tennis for? To be the best. And as a result of her, with the mentality given to her by her father, Mr. Richard, if you think about it, he implanted the idea in her mind that you are the best. And as a result of saying, yep, I'm the best, and I want to be the best, all other things were added unto her. She just wanted to be the best. Now, that meant the best version of herself, the best when she walks on the court, the best as a mom, the best as a business owner, right? The best in her relationships with her trainer, her people, the best with her diet, the best, she just wanted to be the best. And because she had clear intentions on just being the best, everything else came along with that. I'm not saying that we don't desire or want, a nice house or car or something of that nature. Listen, those are all things. They are a result of something. They're a result of something. So you and I have to do the work mentally, and I'm talking about every day. Don't take a day off from living mentally in an abundance mindset where you ultimately want to be in reality. Why would you take a day off from that? Don't take a day off, right? Because the days that we take off are putting us that much further away from actualizing what we really want. So what I'm asking you to do today is, before I get into these three, I really want to give us some context and some foundation to say, listen, you and I's job, really sit back and ask ourselves, what do I really want? Right? What do I really want? So my wife and I are here. You can't see it, but there's, beautiful ocean views here. And it's been great. Been able to relax and just be able to being in a different environment. And the question comes up, what do you really want? What do you really want? And I'm saying, ask yourself that over and over and over and over again. And every time you come up with an answer, write it down. And then ask yourself again, what do I really want? I want you to get down to the core of that thing. You know what I figured out in my life? I really want to be able to have the light bulb go off for people and they really go after for themselves what's possible, because now they finally, because of whatever I helped them do through all of the means and ways that I'm built today and will continue to build in the future, it helps the next person realize me too. I can do it too. It's not just them. It's not who I see on social media. It's not just for my friend over here, but I can have it too. And when I give people tools and create products and resources and all types of things and do collaborations, it's with that thing, because that's what I want. Personally, I want to be able to live my life free to create and build the things that I like to do, because I know there's somebody else out there that needs them. That's what I really want. I want to be able to have the version of a marriage that I don't even know exists yet. Why? Because I'm not focused on all of the other things about, negative ideas and what happens. No, I am focused on being the best husband. I'm focused on being the best father. That doesn't mean I'm outperforming another father. It means when I woke up yesterday, I was one version. This morning when I woke up, I'm a different version. I'm improving who I am. So I'm saying I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. That's being the best to me, right? I want our financial strength to be stronger today than it was yesterday. I want my ability to be able to earn and to be able to grow better today than it was yesterday. Right? What do you really want? I want the peace in my life to be a reality that is a normal state every day. That's what I really want. Right? So it's really getting down to that. All right. So let me give you these three. I just want to give you that kind of that foundation and context. I call this KSA. You can write that down. KSA. All right. 3 words. The first one, if you really want to have it all, you want to live an abundant life, here's what you and I have to focus on. Remember, this is actionable intelligence, not theorizing. Okay. First, K stands for knowledge. I'll promise you that the first step to obtaining and getting anything that we really want in this world comes from our ability to open ourselves up to new information and make new decisions, and probably in new environments. New information, new decisions, new environments. New information, new decisions, new environments. Because just because I learned how to do something does not mean I have the ability to realize it, right? Like you and I can Google anything right now. Doesn't mean you know what to do. Doesn't mean you know how to do it. You just got a bunch of information running around in your head that may or may not work, right? So when I look at knowledge in the sense of if I really understand what I want, then the knowledge I go after helps me get there. New information, new environments, right? Like those are really important pieces, and new decisions. Because if right now, think about it this way, everything that you know right now in your head has gotten you to where you are right now. But if you want more, and if you want to be more, and if you want to have more, that means you have all, if you just say, I'm not going to learn anymore, but I want all these other things, it's not going to happen. That's not how it works. You have to be willing to obtain new knowledge. Be a lifelong learner. That's what gets you to really having it all. That's the that's the first thing we've got to accept about that abundance life. That's the first thing we got to accept. I have to be, because by the way, knowledge also means I might have to get rid of some old knowledge, some outdated knowledge. What do you mean? Some of us learned how to handle money certain ways that really don't serve us to build wealth. Some of us only look at money for right now and what I got to do when I get paid on Friday, and never think in terms of decades. Some of us only think about spending money on the weekends to satisfy our entertainment driven consumerism that's bombarded us all day, every day on social media and TV and everywhere else. Buy, 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 buy. Okay. But if you want abundance, you learn to be a producer more than you are a consumer. That means a lot of delayed gratification. Knowledge, right? Knowledge. That's the first one. Second one. So you go from knowledge, right? New information, new decisions, right? Those are important again. New information, new decisions. You got to have those, okay? You and I have to make that a real reality in our lives. All right, I'm going to obtain some new information. That means I got to make new decisions, new information, and I got to put in new environments. So that the newness of all of that can start to actually take ground. It's like taking a seed, right? The seed is the new information, is the new knowledge, right? But I got to put that somewhere so it can actually start to take root in me, right? So when I have that, now here's what I got to do. I got to start having the strategies in place. That's the S. So K stands for knowledge. The second one is S, strategies. You and I have to get more focused on the strategy of a thing than just wanting the outcome of a thing. You know what I figured out recently? I figured out that for a lot of what I know is possible for me, there's a ton of strategy behind those who have already obtained it. A ton. And you know where they spend most of their time? Strategy. Without really thinking about the outcome. They're heavily invested on strategy. That's their day. Strategy. And I think that's a healthy way of looking at life, right? If we focus on strategy, if we focus on saying, you know what, I'm going to take this knowledge, but I'm not just going to take this knowledge and just say, oh, I got a bunch of information, because that's not wisdom, right? Just because you know something, that doesn't mean you have wisdom. When I take into account the strategy to actualize a thing, there we're taking the next step forward. What does it mean for me to actually own a business? What are the strategies business owners are leveraging? What do I have to do? What are the strategies behind me owning and running a profitable, healthy side business? What do I have to do? What's the strategy? What do I have to take into account? A strategy around my time, my effort, my energy, my finances, my relationships, customers, right? Customer acquisition. You have to think in terms of strategies. Everything that you have when it comes to your business or improving your life, you got to say there's got to be a strategy behind this, meaning there's already somebody out there who's probably figured it out. Go learn from them, because clearly they figured it out. One thing I figured out about strategies is that every strategy implemented will have a result. Good, bad, or indifferent. You ever been somewhere and your mind was blown by some information that you got, but then you got home and a week later, it didn't feel the same as when you first heard it? You know why that is? Because you are no longer in that environment. Remember, you obtained some knowledge, New environments, new information, right? New decisions. So you were in an environment that that made it possible for you to receive some new information. But then when you left that environment and went home, it was probably the right information. The problem was when you got home, you're back in a comfort environment. And you weren't really given the strategies to keep that momentum going. The actionable intelligence to say, hey, listen, when you leave here, go do 1, 2, 3. Start to make sense in your life of the information that we just gave. Make room for new information. That's the one thing I will tell you. That's the hardest thing been for me to learn. This last 2 years, my wife and I we've literally changed the environments that we've hang out like dramatically, because we are intentionally trying to go somewhere in our lives, right? And it was really interesting how the people, the information, the conversations that we started engaging in became the most mind-stretching thing for me. And it's almost to a point of frustration. Because it's like, man, does it ever stop? And here's what I realized that makes you frustrated. You take in more information than you actually go do something with. And that was the thing that I had to start to wrestle with and go, Chris, you got to be careful. You can't keep taking in all this new information, but then go do nothing with it, right? So that leads me to number 3. You got new information? Good. I'm happy for you. You now have some strategies that you're going to put in place? Good. I'm happy for you. Now you've got to apply. Great man once said, turn off your brain and go do the work. See, here's the issue with trying to apply new information that you received and understanding new strategies when it's given to you. We're trying to apply all of that new information based on being able to understand why it works. I don't need to understand why certain principles in the world work. I just know that they work and I work with them, right? You don't listen. Do you really need a whole historical context given to you about gravity? Do you really need to understand all the components of a plane before you get on the plane? Do you really need to understand how light works in that light bulb before you turn on the switch so you can see? Do you really need to understand all the things that a car does in order for it to go forward and how gas works in it and all the computer chips? No. But unfortunately, when we get new information, we want to try to understand the entire thing before we will apply it. But yet, you don't need to understand how a plane works before you get on and purchase a ticket to get where you need to go faster. You don't need to understand how a light switch works when you walk into a dark room. You just flip on the light so you can see. But yet, when we receive new information that's actually going to help us get better and improve our lives and create abundance, we want to understand it all before we do it. That's our fear talking. That's doubt putting roadblocks into us doing the third thing, which is applying what we now have found out. It's knowledge, it's strategies, and then it's application. Turn your brain off and do the work. You don't need to understand everything. You really don't. Do you need to understand how the sun, moon, and stars work in a line before you just wake up and go get what you need to get done? Do you need to understand all the things that your company does? You need to understand everything that gigantic company and corporation that you work for does before you choose to get paid from them? No. You do your job and you get paid. All the other parts really don't matter. That's how we need to start treating knowledge, strategies, and application. Y'all, there's more information sitting here in your phone than we walk out in our daily lives. If you make it a habit to apply more than you try to understand it, well, let me put it this way. I want you and I to get in the habit of applying more and understanding less. Apply more, understand less. Are there things that you need to understand? Sure. I need to understand that it takes some real momentum for me to stay up on this bike, or otherwise I'm going to keep falling because I got to be in some version of momentum. Yes, I need to understand those things. But some of us are allowing our fear and doubt to rob us from the very energy we need to really apply force to the pedal so that we can get in momentum and just ride the bike. Because you know, one other thing I found out about application, if I get better at just applying, even what I don't understand will become understood, because it's after you apply that you fully come into understanding. Not before. Not before. Listen, you could watch 1,000 hours of YouTube videos about how to fly a plane. You could. You could watch every guru. You could read every book. You could do all of that. I guarantee you, until you get in the cockpit and learn the throttle and learn the takeoff and learn all the millions of mechanical pieces, it will not be until after you apply yourself that all of those things will come into understanding. Yo, we're living in the greatest time of technology that there's ever been. You have access to more information than ever available in human history. You do realize that for a while, information like new advances in technologies and I'm talking about even thousands of years ago, you had to literally live in that area for you to know that that thing was real. You had to live in that area. Otherwise, you could be a million miles away and never know. Now, I could be a million miles away and I got it right here. Knowledge plus strategies and application, KSA. I want all of us to get really good at that. I want all of us to start focusing our time and attention on saying, all right, I'm going to be open by faith. I know that I can have abundance. Great. That's good. Now I got to go seek the knowledge, new information, new decisions, new environments. Great. Now I take that. Now I got to go grab new strategies. Listen, don't just ask people for them to do something for you. Ask them to teach you how to get it done. What they're doing, what strategies are they leveraging? That's a better question. Hey, I don't want what you have. I want to know what the strategies are behind what you're doing so that when I get to that point, I can apply it to my life too. People will freely give you, especially if you're willing to go and change your own life, right? So I really want us to think about that. I really want us to think about that today. So it's KSA, knowledge, strategies, and application. Over the next 90 days, from now until the end of the year, if you and I just focus on knowledge, on strategies, and on application, heavy on the application though, heavy on the application, because many of us, we apply less and understand more when we really should be applying more and understanding less, right? So get really good at that. Practice it. And I'm not saying you got to practice it with big things. Practice it with like even the smallest minute things in your life. Small things. So that you get in the habit and in the and get a train going around applying myself. I'm always applying. I'm always applying. I'm always applying. So even when you come across something big to apply yourself to, you've already built up the muscle. You've already beat back fear and doubt enough. Hey, I'm good. I know exactly what we need to do here, right? And I just go apply. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you go take massive action. Those who execute above the average. That's what's important. So listen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you are watching this and you liked it and you got some value out of it, please like, share, and subscribe right here to the Grow Your Side Business podcast. Make sure that you share this with other people and make sure that you let them know, hey, here is a place where you and I will learn every single Monday right here on a segment we call Massive Action Monday. What is massive action? My definition is those who execute above average. That's those people are. That's who you are. That's why you're here. So thank you so much for watching. Go tune in to the Grow Your Side Business podcast on all platforms, videos right here on the YouTube channel or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, download, you name it, you can get it. Wherever you get your hair hustle on, that's where you can grow your side business. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great, incredible day. Now go and take some serious, massive action.